recording? Yeah, recording. Recording. Recording.
They just take a minute usually. They go like this and they expect you to.
Yeah.
I'm like, just take a minute.
There you go. There's your mindful minute.
Right?
Yeah.
We're just discussing it.
Welcome to Humans of St. John's, a new video series exploring amazing people that live right here. If you've ever wondered what makes St. John's County such a melting pot of people, cultures, and history, you've come to the right place. Enjoy their stories, get inspired, get involved. Maybe you have what it takes to be the next human of St. John's.
Hey guys, this is Aiden Friedman from Idea to Result Drone First Video Productions, and last month we talked about Sebastian Kiss, a 14-year-old freshman who owns a baking company. For the month of March, we brought on Sara Frasca, a mom, business coach, and restaurant owner. Special thanks to Chris Snow, team leader of Florida Coastal Team, for sponsoring this video. Special thanks to Double M Productions and the 8 of us together for helping produce this video as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to let us know that we did a good job. Without further ado, here's our logo and the episode.
We're going to talk a little personal, a little professional. We're sitting in one of your in your venture, right? So let's start with what drives you. What are you most passionate about?
Well, I would say my family. I mean, I really and truly, I come from, a really grounded family. My grandparents started the restaurant and we serve their food today. But I grew up in a really kind of special family environment where my parents were incredibly present for us kids. We were really, really close, and they did everything for us kids. I mean, that's what drove them. And so I would say, that is what my husband and I try to do today.
And you have
we have 5 kids.
5 kids.
Yes.
Ages?
Yes. So it goes, let's see, 16, 13, 12, 11, and 10. And we are a blended family, so that adds an extra complexity. I think it has given us a little bit of added uniqueness. I think there are certainly pros and cons, things that we have to battle through that I never battled through with my immediate family. But anyway, back to your question of passion. I would say, when we first moved down here, it was such a special place. And I think it was a place where I felt like we could raise a family. There could be, the time outside, the time doing activities as a family. It was very obvious to me very quickly that this is where I was going to make a home, and put down roots and really raise kids, build a community.
Most reactions were similar to mine. Like, wait a second, Jacksonville is kind of a, I've never been. I don't think that's the most attractive place, but I don't know much. And then the person goes, go check it out.
Right.
You have to see it for yourself. And then there is this, oh my god, this is unbelievable.
Right.
So your journey, how did you find it?
Yeah, so my ex-husband got a job with the PGA Tour, and I was 36 weeks pregnant with our second. I was unable to travel. And so it was a little bit of a gamble. It was a real kind of shot in the dark. It was kind of, let's try it. Let's see what this is all about. And in my research, again, because I couldn't come down here physically to see the location, I knew that it was the top public schools in the state, and I knew that the Mayo Clinic was here. And I'm from Minnesota. The Mayo Clinic is really a place of strength for me. I've had some personal connections with it, and I knew how, kind of elevated the healthcare would be down here because the Mayo is here. So those two components allowed me to feel comfortable to make the decision. Once I was down here and got to know the beach and got to know the community, I would say, I quickly fell in love with the climate. It's, coming from Minnesota, quite a different climate, which was wonderful to not have to bundle kids anymore every day. But again, that's a strength on this community is, I was able to figure it out pretty quickly and get comfortable and then never want to leave. So, that again is kind of the beautiful part. I really have no intention of ever leaving.
Let's talk about your professional world a bit.
Sure.
We're sitting in Tresca.
Yes.
Your family.
Yes.
Maybe a quick story?
Sure. So my grandparents opened the first restaurant in 1974. Then it was my parents and my aunts and uncles that brought it to life, and then now it's myself and a couple of my cousins. And the panino is the heart of our menu. So the panino sandwich is very unique. I like to say that my grandmother invented it. It's a simple sandwich, but it is quite unique. And I'm hopeful that through the course of the next few years, the panino will become a family household name. So we shall see. We're moving into franchising.
I just found out.
Yeah, it's
this
really
is,
exciting.
This is hot off the press.
Brand new. So starting in March, we will have franchises available for purchase across the country.
Amazing.
Pretty fun.
And you've got if I remember correctly, when we first met and we're chatting now, part of the secret sauce here is you've got the family, tradition recipes that came to be, but you brought operational structures, you brought systems, which also leads us into talking about your second creation.
Yes. So you're right. I mean, I was really lucky to be born into the family that has the panino. And it is a secret family dough recipe, and that will continue to remain. Even through the franchising, we will keep that a secret. But the part about bringing the kind of business acumen, I am really fortunate. I started my career at General Mills, big corporate, beautiful processes, beautiful systems, brilliant people. And I came to understand a little bit of what it meant to build a big brand, how to serve consumers at a mass level. Then I went to the entrepreneurial side, and I was a part of a couple of startups, and I obviously started the restaurant, learning how that grit and that tenacity and how that entrepreneurial fire can be, a part of building a small business. And so now I own a consulting firm. I consult across the spectrum of small businesses to very large, and helping, I would say, small businesses to scale, building the types of processes, building the systems. I also help the large companies to reinvoke that creativity, that kind of inventive thinking, that entrepreneurial fire. So I have a really great time with Point Northeast. That's our business. I'm the CEO of that business, and we serve clients on many different levels, and we do the exact same process that I was able to install here at Frasca. So I run my business in a 90-minute-a-week meeting, meaning that I have empowered my leadership team to make decisions and to act like owners. And the trickle-down effect is that I'm able to set the vision, set the tone, create the culture. I would say I'm, still in charge of research and development of new products. In fact, we shipped a panino last week to upstate New York successfully. So the person on the other end was able to eat a spaghetti pie and really had a good time with it. So who knows if mail order will be another part of our future. I would say I don't necessarily think it's just one thing that will continue our success, but it's it's a multitude of different facets, and I'm not the only one that's going to come up with ideas. It's my leadership team and our entire staff. So you're talking about the operating system that I try to really instill in each of my clients, and I know it works because I've done it here in what I think is one of the hardest businesses.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's quite incredible how difficult the restaurant industry is. So
For
yeah.
sure. So you've
So
got
I can do it. They can do it.
you've got the restaurant, you've got the franchise,
Yes.
you've got the consulting practice, and you're also a speaker.
Right.
How often?
I'm speaking a couple times a month. Yep.
Is there more?
I do workshops, but that's it.
So 5 kids.
Yep.
And then, to my count, would be business. Franchise is kind of its own business.
True.
A consulting practice, its own business, and speaking.
Right.
So my concern that I'm moving to an area where everyone's chilling, not a concern. Met you, in fact, and that's a whole other story. When we met and you shared your story, you inspired me to create changes within my business. But that's a whole other episode.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Let's go deeper.
Yeah,
Adventure,
great,
because it's
great.
all new. New schools, right? Your husband works for a school literally in the middle of a forest.
Yes, it is quite amazing.
Like
Beautiful.
quite literally in the middle of a forest, a new road to get to the school.
Yes.
This is the second year, and we're surrounded by new malls are popping up, new communities are popping up.
Yes, the growth is incredible.
So adventure.
Adventure. I would say, I a lot of times I'm driven by food because I love to eat and I love food. So, when I first moved down here, my adventures were built on, all right, let's go find that great new restaurant up in Neptune Beach, or the great restaurant down in St. Augustine, or the great restaurant over in Riverside.
Totally.
And so I got to know the Jacksonville market. I
Totally.
really did a lot of exploration.
Totally.
Again, based on food for me, but it could be based on surfing for some people. It could be based on other activities.
Totally.
You know, so I would say, I think a sense of adventure is what I would put on my checklist.
Totally.
As a necessity.
Totally. Let's jump to the other side of saying what isn't great for a minute. Just so we're balanced.
Sure.
I would say if someone is looking for a beach, we have a beach.
Oh, an incredible beach.
But if you like the warmer,
Yes.
right? If you want it to be a bit more refined,
Okay.
our beaches here are okay, but not as great as South Florida.
Well, I might argue that.
Let's do this.
Okay, but I would say ours are a lot more natural. And I think, I mean, if you think about the Guana Preserve, I mean, they are pristine. There are no buildings
That's
on
true.
the beach. I would say you'd be hard pressed to find another beach in the United States that is as pristine, that you
It's
can
gorgeous.
walk on
And
with
it's
your
long.
dog or just walk on with your family and look for shark's teeth or look for shells.
Yes.
And there's no houses, there's no buildings.
Agreed, but you can't swim for as much of the year
True.
as you can. We're just having one of those.
That's
like, this
right.
is a
Well,
real conversation,
it is cold
right?
Florida.
Cold Florida. Love that. Okay, so we compared that.
Okay.
Schools.
Yes, schools are amazing. I would say, you know, my kids have gone to different schools as we have kind of, the community has built up, so they have been kind of rezoned a couple times. Every school has been absolutely incredible. The administration is amazing, the teachers are amazing, and I guess I'm a little biased because my husband is in the school.
Oh, you're
system.
definitely biased.
He's a 5th grade teacher, but we have 4 kids at Pine Island Academy, and it's a magical place.
We just started.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh my
pretty
goodness. Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know, on the
Yeah.
street, on the beach. Would you agree?
I would. I mean, you know, I'm from Minnesota, and there's this kind of Minnesota nice culture. And I would say I'm used to really warm. I'm used to, you know, just sincerity, people asking questions. And though that's not always the case, I would say that I have found people are really welcoming, really warm, really willing to help. I also feel very committed to changing that. So in the areas where it's not the case, I usually try to make sure that I'm instilling my component of community where I go probably overboard. My family really laughs at me. I wave at everyone. So, you know, I'm really trying to change the culture. So even in our community in Nocatee, I wave to everyone, and I do it sincerely, but I am trying to be a part of the change.
Yeah.
You know, there's that quote, be the change that you want to see in the world. And so, though it's not 100%, I would say I have found it to be a very warm place where people are willing. Now,
How do we bring these folks and create the bonds and, you
Right.
know, and replace what many of us have lost by moving?
right. Well, not very many of us have a natural network here. You know,
Right.
we didn't go to high school here. We didn't go to college
Right.
here. We know maybe a couple of our neighbors. We know a couple of the people we do business with. But I would say, you know, again, I think that's the opportunity with a restaurant is that, you know, I get to stand in front of the door and shake the hands of the people coming in and ask them, you know, are you from here? Are you from out of town? And you know, there's not a lot of opportunities to do that. So we have to lean in. We have to kind of make those connections actively to get to know one another.
Awesome. Well, listen, Sarah, this has been, I mean, it's been fun. We met a year ago. It's
Yes.
interesting how we're kind of celebrating a year
Yes,
later on
it's
camera.
Great. It's great.
And I think you all can see the energy that Sarah brings. So you just met the next human of St. John's.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks once again to our sponsor, Florida Coastal Team. I'll leave a link to their YouTube in the description below. Another special thanks to Double M Productions and 8 of Us Together for helping produce this video, as well as Kennedy and Tiffany. Thanks for watching, and if you want us to do this kind of video for your business, text, call, or email me. Check the description down below. See you guys in the next one.